Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, well, it said he went to Georgia because he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was a bit behind and he was willing to make a deal. He also is my co-host. He's Mr. Taylor.
Hey, yes. Contract's out.
I was worried I wasn't going to get all that out then. Well, welcome to another week.
Yes, another one.
Another installment of the show. Thank you for joining us. As always, frog in the throat, new listeners and repeat offenders.
Repeat.
I love you, repeat offenders.
Yes.
I love you coming back, listening to us again and again.
Yes.
Telling your friends. It's amazing.
Do this
Thank
for you.
But we've got a good show.
We have.
Not only, just want to wish happy birthday to my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Right, thank you.
It's his actual birthday now, right now.
It is.
And he's still taking the time out, committed
yes.
to coming on and recording for you today.
Yes, so it's a group session today.
So big happy birthday. Give you another round of applause there for your birthday. Happy birthday.
Nice. 21 again. Nice.
You said that last year. You're always 21, isn't it?
I am. I'm a time traveller. I don't age.
But more like a vampire.
Yeah.
You look vampiric.
Yeah, I do.
I could see that actually. Yeah.
I do like the night.
He's a man of the night.
I am.
In Transylvania. Well, we're not talking about vampires this
We're
week,
not.
unfortunately. Not this week.
Well, we might in the news.
We might, kind of. We might in the future.
I've got a story about
I don't think we've ever done vampires. That's actually a good idea. If you was to do a vampire deep dive,
we haven't done one.
I don't think we have, but I feel
We
like
might have wrapped around one.
I love the idea of these myths have got to come from somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no smoke with no fire, isn't it?
Ain't no smoke without fire.
That's
but
it.
this week's episode isn't, rubbish. It's
No.
Great
No,
topic.
yeah,
The idea of making a deal with the devil.
Yeah, big question. Has anyone done it?
It's appeared many times in popular culture. In making a pact with the devil can be found in all types of genres, including books, music, comics, theatre, movies, TV shows, and games.
I think that's everything, isn't it?
Pretty much everything.
All entertainment.
I mean, you could argue there was quite a lot of evidence to support dealing with the devil. In terms of people's skill levels, but you can't always say it's somebody.
Yeah.
Just people can be skillful, can't they?
Well,
surely.
Yeah, true, but we'll get into that in a little bit because we've got loads on this, haven't we? Really, and it can go into different areas.
It is very philosophical. This sort of concept, and we've got a lot of different stories about different people, who've allegedly made deals with the devil.
Oh, yes.
Could they be true? I mean, we'll have a look into it. We'll see what we can find out. There's a lot going on around it. I mean, but, probably this episode, just like the devil, will make it difficult, for making money on YouTube because we'll probably get demonetized.
Oh, no. Please don't. We don't need that.
That was a terrible dad joke. But that's all coming up very shortly in the show.
Yeah. It is.
Plenty to look forward to, especially with the world's current events in this week's NASA news as well. So it's all worth sticking around for.
It definitely is that, without a shadow of a doubt.
I just keep getting that tune though. Like the devil went down to Georgia because, obviously, that was your intro. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to spit all that out, but it's just all
you did
these stuff in
well
my
on
head.
that, because I thought you were going to mess up.
I mean, there are a lot of tunes. We've just been going through Spotify with songs that are about making deals with the devils, and there's loads of them. Yeah, there's loads of really good tunes.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm coughing tonight.
You got a sore throat.
I need a drink.
I hope you ain't got the COVID.
Nah, I'm good, me. Don't you worry.
Yeah, because last thing I need on birthday, got COVID, mate.
I bring you good tidings and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm all good. Don't you worry.
Good,
anyway, what have you been up to? And it's your birthday, so what are you going to be up to? And what you're going to be, what have you been up to?
I haven't really been up to much apart from researching again, to be honest.
It's all he does. You need to get a life, kidder.
Yeah. But I'm going out tomorrow, see my mate and his dad. His dad's popped down. And I'm going to go and see my gran. Go and see how she's doing.
It's like collecting your birthday money.
Yeah. Oh, no. I've already collected it. I've already sent the boys round.
Grand's like, I've not seen you since last birthday, was it? I'm joking. Yeah. I'm only messing.
But yeah, I haven't seen her for a bit, so I want to go around and see, you know what I mean, see how she's doing, see what's up, see if she's got any gossip.
Standard.
You know?
Grands will have a lot of gossip, I should imagine.
And a lot of answers too.
Yeah, grands are just great, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like full of wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, granny wisdom.
Full of authority as well.
And then, do you know, occasionally they'll, whip you a scarf up in like a cup. And do you know, like when you go to grands, they just want to feed you up.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They'll make you loads of food and then whip you up a jumper.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That don't fit right. Like,
it doesn't matter though, does it? It's like one sleeve's longer than the other.
Yeah, you didn't get on a diet, you.
Well, you always get that every time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, have you lost weight?
You can't do enough for you, can?
I get that from my mum.
Yeah.
Oh, every time it's like you could have put on like 2 stone, and it's like, you feel thinner, you're eating enough.
You're looking a bit skinny there.
Oh, fuck off.
I've been eating like a king. What are you on about?
You can't win, can you?
No, you can't. You just got to take it. So take it.
So other than that, what are you researching?
UFOs. And
Hello,
stuff. Yeah, it's usual. Some science into.
Well, not to say that we won't be doing more UFO episodes in the future, but with it being like coming into the spooky months,
yes,
we will be kind of doing a bit more paranormal stuff. If there's any topics that you'd like to hear us tackle, make sure you send us a message, and we will try and factor that into the scheduling. Coming up in the current weeks.
I've got one. I was told about a murder like mystery kind of one with a guy called Army.
Did it in the conservatory with a lead pipe?
Well, don't know.
In the kitchen with a spatula.
He's an actor basically. I can't remember who his dad was. He had a famous father or something, and his life just went like. It was up, but it went down and then up and stuff like that. And there was some weird kind of stuff. That's
just
on.
Life.
Well, yeah.
It was like I was having a really good time and everything went shit, and then it was like.
Then I got some more money and I went up. And But it was
that's not the myth of the guy who had a regular life. That sounds interesting. No. Let's do that.
But the guy come from money, massive amount of money as well.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, yeah. If you've got any interest in the spooky area and you want us to have a little
well actually I kind of this is a good opportunity to say that we want What's Fucked Up Where You're From to be coming back.
Yes.
If you don't know what that is, we had a segment, or we've run it several times, where we would like you guys to get involved. We want you to send us anything that you find a bit weird, paranormal wise. Have you got something in your neck of the woods, in your area that,
you got a question that's been on your mind for God knows how long, and you want to try and find out some answers.
Or it's more like, if you've got kind of like paranormal activity or a haunted house or something going on in your area.
You've been abducted.
Or something that your area's been famous for, like potentially has a cryptid or gnomes are running around the woods.
Or a witch or a headless
horseman.
horseman.
Like that. Let us know. Yeah. We'll do some extra research and we'll find out what else is going on in your town or city or wherever as well. So if you want to get in touch, you can drop us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com or go on the website at neverstraightanswer.co.uk and hit the contact page. And and you could be featured in a coming up episode because... Yeah, I always find that it's a really good kind of segment, and people love getting involved with it, and we've had some really good ones in the past.
We have. Yeah.
If you've got some paranormal happenings in your area, get in touch. But tonight I think we're just going to dive straight into the main topic tonight because it is an interesting one, and we've got quite a lot to cover.
What have you been up to anyway? We haven't discussed that.
Oh right, God.
Not so much.
Busy this week.
Busy little bee.
Yeah, and plus it's been the kind of the funeral of the Queen at the beginning of the week, so we're all off on Monday for the bank holiday.
Yeah.
But that meant that my days after that were really staggered, so I kind of felt like I was. Do you know when I always feel this after bank holidays though? I don't know if everyone else is the same, but like I always feel like I feel off kilter coming back on a Tuesday after the long weekend because it was like it got to Friday and for some reason, even though I'd worked less, I felt I was a day ahead. So when I woke up on Friday, I thought, oh, it's Saturday, I don't have to go to work. And then I potted around, milling around, and then all of a sudden went, oh shit, no, it's Friday, and I had to get off.
Yeah, with my night work, it can make me mix my days up from one day to the other as well.
It's been a bit of a long week. I feel like a lot's gone on in terms of just working. Yeah. So, like, I just feel like just stuff. I've not had time to really process what I've been up to this week. It's just been a big work week. Yeah. Also getting the episode ready for today, so obviously doing the research on Deals with the Devil.
Yeah.
It's quite. I mean, I've been sucked into it, and like I say, I've ended up getting a Spotify playlist going.
Yeah.
I mean, it has. I say, you said it before. It kind of brings up a lot of different questions in terms of, well, all this evidence to suggest, or if you can call it evidence, to suggest that. Or at least stories, or incidents, word of mouth evidence.
Yeah, there's some substance, some kind of substance
suggests that doing deals with the devil's pretty common, right? Like,
I reckon in the Dark Ages it would be a lot more common.
Well, I mean, is it just in the Dark Ages? I mean, is it still going on today? True, I mean, and is it an actual thing that people?
Does it work? Does it actually?
Work? Can we get a how-to, sort of video going like, here, if you want to make a deal with the devil, I mean, he's going to have to hire a load more admin.
Yeah,
to get through all the additional, people that are going to be wanting to do it.
You have to get a lot more fibergate in as well.
I want a plasma TV.
Yeah.
Not me, personally. No, I'm not selling. Whoa, I'm saying other people.
A bit more than that, son.
I don't sell my soul for anything.
Oh.
It's all mine.
I bet everyone, don't matter who you are, has got a price.
Oh, right, okay. What's your
price? Everyone has got a price.
Well, what's your price? What's your price?
If I said to you £1 trillion, would you say yeah?
Well, no, because like you've said this about when we did the genie episode.
If I had it in cash right in front of you.
When you said about the genie episode, right, about genies, you make a wish with a genie, right, and there's some catch, there's some sort of like...
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to work out as well as you thought it was going to. And I'd say that applies double, if not more, to the devil, because the devil ain't going to be like, hey, dead straightforward, is he?
Totally.
Yeah, and we've got stories coming up in the show that'll back that up. Yeah. So, he ain't. He's
a tricky little bastard.
He's a tricky fucker. That's what I was going to say.
Well, I wouldn't say he's little, but he's a tricky.
How do you know, right? Because again, right, let's go into the devil, right, himself, right.
Oh, so I don't fancy
how we look at the devil in terms of like this
red horny,
exactly this picture
of
the devil that we've all kind of got into our heads.
Yeah.
But if we look back at the story of Lucifer, he was actually an angel, right?
Yes.
Now all angels, as far as I know, aren't like big horned red guys walking around going...
Looking like princesses, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're all like...
whoa, I can float on water.
Yeah, probably all speaking Latin.
Yeah. Oh, come on, get an interpreter or fuck
with
off.
flowy gowns and stuff, and it's like, none of them are wearing Jordans or, like...
You never know, they might...
Nike Air Maxis.
So we might, they might have picked someone up and gone, Maxis, go.
I don't know, just anything. Do you know anything like? You never see him depicted that way, but potentially that's what they're like now in terms of cross culture. When did you die? I don't know why people made angels. Anyway, we're getting into a totally different video because what I'm getting at is if Lucifer was an angel and then he had this big argument with God and then was cast down, to rule down there.
Yeah, he played with the humans.
Why? Firstly, give him that sort of power, right? Yeah, if you've had an argument with him.
Yeah,
right? And then, you're giving I've had enough of you, I'm going to banish you. But, there's a whole kingdom down there if you want it. Do you know what I mean?
True, but he didn't give him the power.
Well, where did he get that from?
Morlock.
Right, so that suggested there's another guy who's actually worse.
Who actually is the controller of evil. And what he did, that's where the goat comes into it. That's Morlock. It's the goat. And basically, the evil power that he generates, he passes on to the devil, which the devil goes and does his little playing games. So, I don't know where Morlock come from, but he did not get the power from God. And as far as I knew, there was nothing here. But then again, if there was a hell from the beginning, there must have been a keeper from the beginning
it's
of
kind
hell
of crazy
anyway.
because it's like I said earlier about if all these people who have supposedly made deals with the devil,
Yeah.
right? Well, it sounds like he's quite good at answering sort of prayers. In terms of like
Then Jesus,
God,
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
fucking hell,
yeah.
God
didn't answer his prayers, did it?
Well, this is the thing, and it's like, well, I mean, depending on your perspective,
could he get the signal through?
He's praying to God. Their God is Satan, so it's like if you're
and
a
he's a tricky
Satanist or a Satan, hail Satan.
And don't forget, he's a tricky bugger. You know what I mean? He could turn up and go, "Yeah, I'm God, man. What's up? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah."
Well, that's actually funny because one of the stories is like, when we go into Jesus and stuff, and honestly, this is not kind of like a religious talky show. In that respect.
No. We have respect for all religion.
But one of the stories that comes up is Jesus and how he was tempted by the devil he basically was in the desert for 40 nights.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was hungry and he was like destitute.
Yeah,
in the middle of the desert. And the devil was supposed to have come to him about 3 or 4 times and basically tried to tempt him, saying, I can give you dominion and power over all men. I can give you what you want the easy way. Yeah, right? And, Jesus went, no, I want people to follow me because they follow me because they know who I am and what I can, do. And my
he had a lot on his shoulders,
didn't he? Message, yeah, right? So for the devil to come and say, I can give you all this on a plate. You don't need to fucking persecute yourself and, end up, on a cross to do it, And he was like, no, I don't want. And he's trying to tempt him all the way, and he kind of refused it, And that was kind of like, he could have gone the easy route and he could have taken the deal, yeah. But as the Son of God, he couldn't really be like selling his soul off.
Not necessarily, because if you counter that, let's say, put that
there
against
are religious
an
icons
insect,
who have
an insect or something that's that's in its own DNA that it will die or something. Like there's some rodents that I was talking to my brother about it the other day.
Right,
I can't remember what it's called, but basically this little animal is built for shagging, and that's it. Shagging. That is it. It will not eat. It will not sleep. It will do it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's in its nature.
That's in its nature. Now, how do if Jesus was alive, how do we know that he wasn't programmed to actually go for his death at 35 on the cross? He already knew his movement, that what he had to do.
Who his dad or like?
Well, his dad calculated like
you got a shelf
DNA
life for this. Well, no, because
that controlled that he, like an animal, its senses are going, I've got to go this way instead of, or I've got to avoid this, or I'm not
sure.
going to avoid that.
I'm not sure how you mean, but like, in terms of like, that's just fate, isn't it? It's like you've got a destiny.
Well, yeah, because we've all been
calculated. Well, you think that, and I mean, if it's all been calculated, then that means everything's predetermined, and that nothing matters.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's like it's all going to be. You've got no control over it, and if you're looking at it as in a computer program and saying, when God sat down at his Apple Mac and thought, right, I'm going to make a Jesus today, right? Well, what's his shelf life? We're going to give him till 37.
What am I programming it to do?
He's going to program him to go down there and be
suffer
persecuted.
there, get persecuted. But look what come out of it. What come out of it was a big religion.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But on the flip side, it's like there's a lot of people who, don't support that side of the religion. They support the anti side of it, which is why, I feel like Jesus, he was just a guy, and he was as tempted as any one of us, right? But the message I think about that one is that he beat the temptation, and he didn't take the deal, right? Whereas there's a lot of people who we'll talk about tonight who willingly seek it out, or summon the devil as supposedly to create to kind of strike up a deal with him. Do you know what I mean? And it's like whether you're religious or not, I feel like everybody at one time or another will be like, "Oh, mate, I wish my life was a bit better," or can you help me out with this? And you put out these little thoughts about prayers, religious or not. You go, even if it's you're asking the universe, or an alternative like Beelzebub.
Well, you've got
Satan himself.
We've got to ask that question: is if the devil is alive, then God must be alive.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If you don't believe in
one, you can't believe in the other.
So if you're a Satanist, you must acknowledge God.
Because
you can't have one without the other. And I feel like the vice versa. And that's what scares a lot of Christians. I think. In terms of like people who have made deals.
Oh yeah. Fucking hell, there's
there's fair few, isn't there? I mean, the one that sticks out the most, and it's probably one of the most famous, is Robert Johnson. Who's the blues musician who actually wrote songs like Crossroads, where he kind of like lent into it, didn't he? I mean, people were saying that this guy played the blues like nobody could ever play. He must have had help, and the rumour went round that Robert Johnson was actually he'd done a deal with the devil to be able to play, and I feel like this is the oldest sort of like example of deals with the devil. Whether you're a fiddle player, a guitar player, you're somebody who kind of even like we were talking about one which was like like going back to medieval. Or something where you want to be a lute player to pitch woo.
That's
at
right.
the Fair Maiden, and it's like the devil comes along and makes him a badass lute player.
Yeah, because that comes from the actually oldest book of the devils, which was 1487, which was I'm not even gonna try and read what it says, but it's a witchcraft book. But it's really supposed to be the oldest book in as they've found up to now. But myself, I believe there's an older version of the book, which actually states instead of the number 666, it's actually 696 in this other version, which is supposed to be older. And I heard that in the 90s. When I was looking into stuff, but I haven't heard anything since from it. And to be honest, I should have, but I didn't check for tonight. But I will have a little gander and see if I can find anything on that older book. I want to try and find the oldest book. You know what I mean? To find out the better details, because you get more of the truth. The older the book.
Well, basically, this blues musician, Robert Johnson, apparently went missing for a couple of weeks. Legend has it that Johnson took his guitar to the crossroads of Highway 49 and 61 in Clarksdale, Mississippi, where the devil returned his instrument in exchange for his soul. So he retuned his instrument to be able to play.
And there are
and this is the law, isn't it? This is the folklore behind this. It's like they say, if you take your guitar to a crossroads, right, and you play a song, a dark figure will appear. Tune your guitar, play a song back, and hand you the guitar, and the deal's done.
Yeah, because roughly around about the same, give it a couple of years in between, there was another guy called Tommy Johnson, which no relation, but had the same roughly experience doing the same thing, because they've been told like Robinson, he lived in a town called Robinson, and the blues players within that town was saying that he could not.
Son House basically said, Son House was a great blues musician himself, and he said he was convinced that Johnson would, because he was poo. He couldn't even play.
They always used to tell him and give him tips.
And, he was aspiring. I mean, I want to say he was bad, but he was like not as good as he was.
It was nowhere near any of the.
So when he's appeared a couple of weeks later and he's playing things that nobody's ever heard before.
That's like a football player who you never heard or used to be shit, went away, come back, and it was like bang, knocking them in.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect it, would you? So you'd be kind of like, wait a minute. I mean, like I say, instruments do seem to crop up quite a lot. There was an Italian violinist and composer, Gillespie Turini. Gillespie Turini, I think is the name.
Genius.
Was an Italian violinist and composer in the 1700s. He composed a song called "The Devil's Thrill." Oh, sorry, sonata.
Yeah.
Right, Trill Sonata. He claimed that he woke up one night and Satan was sitting on the edge of his bed playing the violin. Yeah.
That's right.
He sat and listened, and then all of a sudden the devil disappeared, right? So thinking, was this just a dream? You know, when you wake up and you have those lucid dreams, but you try and remember it.
Yeah.
He tried to write the song down. Yeah. And people, were kind of amazed by it. The actual kind of the song was radical. It was so different to anything anybody ever heard.
Yeah.
And he always said that the song was even better played by the devil. So no matter how great people thought it was even better played when he heard it played by the devil.
Yeah.
He basically, people said that he must have had 6 fingers on one hand to be able to play the notes he was able to play.
He might. We don't know how many. You know what I mean? He may be able to create
whilst he was playing.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. He's just this is the same one who, at the age of 4, started playing it. By the age of 7, he was like an expert, and then.
Well, like I say, there was a couple of violinists,
and
a couple of like musical composers, and quite a few of them actually. That in terms of musical composers, I mean, something I was going to get into was like the 27 Club, because Johnson, who we were talking about a moment ago, Robert Johnson, he was 27 when he died, right? And then obviously you've got all these really sort of bright star people, these people who,
especially in the last 10
it's
years.
almost like, live fast, die young. And if you've made this deal, is one of the stipulations of the deal is that you're dying and you're coming with me at the age of 27. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to get that level of fame and riches and power so quick.
Yeah, but then you
get a few years of kind of enjoying it, and then that's it. Your game's up.
Yeah, but there are certain circumstances. There are certain celebrities who seem to have played with the devil again and again and again and won every time.
Like who? Go on.
Like Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne, I can probably imagine, has made a deal
How
with the
many
devil.
times has he gone to nearly death?
Sharon, have we run out of marijuana?
Yeah.
Can you get some Rizla?
How many times? You know what I mean? That he's come nearly to death and he's poked through. And he's
totally.
And he's survived longer.
I'd say most of those guys have made some sort of deal.
Yeah.
On a crossroads. Like but just wait with the tour buses parked up and they're like, doing the thing.
Rolling Stones must have.
That's what I was going to say. The Rolling Stones, definitely. Ozzy Osbourne. Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's, apparently, people have said this for years, that Bob Dylan has had a deal or several deals.
Yeah. Yes.
And is Bob Dylan not one of the guys who you say has found out a way of cheating this guy, making the deal with the devil?
His soul back.
If you want to get your soul back, you challenge it. It's a bit like Bill and Ted. Do you know where it's like, he was up against death, and it's like, I challenge you to a game.
Yeah. Let's play a game.
And in Tenacious D, Pick a Destiny, they challenge him to a rock off.
Yeah.
And challenge. There's always a challenge, isn't there? You know. So what was it? What's the game Bob Dylan's found? Do you think?
Playing guitar. Bang.
So what you think that Bob Dylan, he's going challenging him to a rock off?
Yeah.
And beating him.
Yeah. If it's so called true, then because the only way you can beat the devil or bring your soul back is by playing a game with him that you can win. That
you
is
can
the
try.
only
You can try and cheat the
supposedly.
devil.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to get you too far because he was actually a guy who did try and cheat the devil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but don't forget, the first thing you've got to do when you see the devil, you know what that is, don't you?
What?
You got to bow down and kiss his ring.
No.
Yeah, that is what you're supposed to do when you meet the devil.
Well, there was a pope.
Yeah.
I think it's Pope Sylvester II.
Yeah.
Which made a deal, supposedly made a deal with the
Yeah.
devil. He wasn't the Pope when he made the deal, but
No.
the guy was looking for power, you know what I mean?
I think
So
he
it's
got
like,
it.
so when you know, if you're kind of the Pope, then that's pretty powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, powerful man in the land.
I'm just trying to find the actual story.
You don't question him in that. You know what I mean? You got people like Jimmy Page, Stevie Nicks.
Did you think Stevie Nicks was
Supposedly 1974.
I mean, Stevie Nicks is, great. I loved Fleetwood Mac, and I loved Stevie Nicks' solo stuff as well. But do you think she was that level that she needed to sell her soul?
I don't know. Well, she did have complications through marriage and, through her life. So, she might have come to a point, when you put that much pressure on someone, it's the same as when you're asking for your life. You're always praying to God, oh, God, I hope this doesn't happen, or, or that kind of stuff. So your spiritual side, I suppose, comes through. And you'd have to have some, if you are going to be giving your spirit away to the devil.
You don't want to go giving it away willy-nilly.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're giving away your soul.
From a priest, because I've looked on the other side as well.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I've got this story about a pope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a pope, you're the total wrong guy to be selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And Pope Sylvester II, supposedly didn't do that. He made a deal with the devil.
Wow.
And so he was basically quite an educated guy.
Not that educated, was he?
He was a humanist scholar. He was basically very heavily into literature. And apparently what had happened is he was basically chatting with these Arabic fellas, yeah. And was talking about literature, but getting into kind of the Arabic scriptures, right?
He likes to learn.
And like I say, he's a very educated man. Yeah. When he came across a book which basically had incantations and spells in an Arabic language, which were able to conjure up demons and even potentially the devil, right?
Yeah.
So he was able to make this deal, right? Which he didn't. I think he wanted to be kind of like have power, but he didn't want to have too much power. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
he's not greedy, but he wants a little.
So he basically, I think he was up for a position where he just kind of denied it and ended up wanted another position.
Right.
And then was denied the job. Yeah. So we made the deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Right. And then next thing he knows, he's getting the actual...
The job on top of the job.
Yeah, the job on top
the
of the
big boss job.
Right.
Yeah.
So then he ends up becoming the Pope.
Yeah.
He's able to live off this opulent lifestyle and all that. But one of the stipulations with him was that if the devil had come for him and take his take his soul, if he ever takes a sermon or listens to a sermon in Jerusalem. Yeah. So basically every time anyone came up to him and said, we want to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, or do you want to come to Jerusalem and listen to this sermon? Yeah. He'd just refuse it. All right, and he'd just go, nah, I'm not interested in that. I won't be going to that. Yeah. So in his head, he felt like he'd beat the devil. Yeah, and he'd kind of found a loophole in the deal. Yeah,
if you can find one. Yeah.
Until he was at a sermon which wasn't in Jerusalem, but it was called something like the Sermon of some at Jerusalem. I don't know the exact name of this. Yeah. But it was kind of around that, but had the title, some in Jerusalem was in the title.
Right.
And when he kind of like realised somebody had told him afterwards what the sermon was called, he kind of went, oh shit.
Too late.
Yeah. A couple of days after he started falling ill.
Yeah.
And then eventually passed away.
See,
So
and
they
the
say that
devil
was
got-
because the devil got what he came for. And,
Devil
you know,
always
the
gets what he comes
devil
for.
always wins, like
Yeah.
casinos.
Well, have you noticed? We also had Eminem and Keanu.
Keanu Reeves just wanted to be in every movie.
Yeah,
He's won. He's getting them.
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the fella.
Well, there's a lot of few
noticed-
conspiracies about Kanye West.
There is, but have you noticed a lot of them? Majority of them are men as well.
What the
There's
people
a
who
few
make
females, yeah,
Well,
but
just-
not.
It's a case of that people, I think, want things without having to kind of work for it. And, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, rather than kind of go, I want to work, I want this thing, what are the things I can do to get what I want?
The easy route.
They want to take an easy route. And
Yeah.
one of the easiest routes is to get it for minimal kind of effort as possible. Somebody bestowing that gift upon you.
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than having to work and learn and try and find it and make it for yourself.
Do you
know,
reckon Ouija boards would help to? Because I've heard a few stories where they've used Ouija boards to actually ask the devil for the sale of their soul.
maybe, I don't know. I mean, it depends, because I feel like Ouija boards, you know, I feel
a
like
bit mysterious.
the thing is with these sort of things, right, is, you know, in terms of, do you know when you feel like when you go on holiday and you say, people go, oh, where are you from? You say, oh, I'm from England, and they go, oh, do you know the king?
Yeah.
Or do you know so-and-so?
Yeah, it's my neighbour, mate. You know what I mean? We chill
Or
out.
like
yeah,
you go
yeah.
to
He's
Australia,
always passing me
or
a blunt.
you go to Australia, and it's like,
Yeah.
do you know, fucking, like, you know, anywhere, you know what I mean? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
getting
yeah,
at.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like, they all assume that you live next door.
To David
and
Beckham
and
and
it's
the
that
Queen.
similar
Or the
sort of
King.
thing with a Ouija board, I feel like. It's like, what, you're going to be getting on, and it'll be like Deirdre, who died in that house like about 20 years ago, and it's like, no, I'm trying to get through to the devil. You've rang the wrong number.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
but
mean? It's a big world. It's like, your chances of getting through.
But I think as we've done it.
Probably an even bigger afterworld.
We've done one on this, but like there's a case of there's something. We know there's nothing there, but it feels like there's something there within the actual Ouija board. If you know what I mean?
Maybe. I
Like,
don't know.
There is some kind of mystery around it because there is so
I
many
just feel
people
like
who've had so many different
that's a
things.
totally different, you know, thing. I feel like, you know, in terms of contacting demons, I feel that.
Oh, he's a king of the demons, isn't he? You
Yeah,
know what
I
I mean?
know, but it's not like it.
Messenger, you get a message
Can
of a
you-
demon.
can you
Can
tell
go
your
and,
boss?
Yeah, tell him what's on my soul, man. You know
Take
what I mean?
me to
Yeah.
your
I'm
leader.
cheap, boy. Come on.
Yeah, really. He's go like, mate.
Yeah,
do you know what he'd do? He'd just ring you up and go, mate, you're already mine. Yeah, don't you fucking worry. You can't say.
It's
You
worth a
can't
try.
try and sell me something that I already own.
I've already owned the goods.
Yeah, sorry. Right.
Oh, well, I'll sell you.
Just
Yeah, I'll
not
sell you
selling me.
also.
Um,
I've
so
got to get out of it, man.
you're just going to have to fiddle him. You're just going to
Oh,
have
no,
to play.
I'm going to have to play the
You're
game.
going to have to play the game,
Yeah.
aren't you? Play the fiddle of
Yeah.
gold. And he might give you a fiddle of gold
well,
afterwards.
if he took your soul, what game would you have to play against him?
So this
that
is
you'd
basically
win?
saying, like, what games are you really good at?
Yeah, to get your soul back, and it's down
I'm
to your soul.
I'm
one
not
game.
very good at any games like that. In that respect, I'm not a sporty guy.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like, you know, go out playing sports
yeah. Well, yeah, all right.
or like cricket, or, you know, it'd be like,
What, bit of Grand Theft Auto? Oh, come on. Come on. We're in the 21st century here, man. Come on, get
oh, I don't know.
your clogs in here.
I'd get him on it. Get him doing some mountain bike trails.
Hey, yeah, with his
Yeah.
feet, he won't be able
I'd
to
say
do him.
first one down the mountain.
He'll run faster.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You can't.
Yeah,
win, can you?
well, yeah, you'd have to think about it, really.
Well,
wouldn't you?
one
Swimming.
guy who actually did apparently win was
Yeah.
this painter.
Oh,
Yeah, which was Jonathan Christopher Hansman, or
Oh, right, okay.
Heisman.
yeah.
So basically, born 14th of March 1700.
700.
1700.
1700, yeah.
1700. Painter known for a load of the kind of like autobiographical depictions.
Mhm.
Yeah. Painted actually 4 or 5 paintings about the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one depicted what they say is kind of an example of them kind of saving a soul. because
Yeah.
what happened here was apparently this guy, Christopher, sold his soul to the devil in a deal,
Right.
and one day started having like seizures, fits, and nobody knew what was going on. People thought it was kind of like possession or whatever, and apparently the devil appeared. And because he'd signed 2 contracts, one in ink and one in blood.
Yeah.
And they basically said that, the devil took the blood one and he was left with the ink.
That's the most important one.
And when the devil appeared, he had the blood contract with him, ready to take his soul.
Yeah.
When out of nowhere, the paper was snatched out of his hand.
Oh.
Right? And the devil was banished, right?
Right.
So the next thing is... Christopher started feeling better,
Okay.
So his final painting of the devil was actually a depiction of Mary,
Right.
snatching the
Holy Mary.
So Mary, the Holy Mother Mary, snatching the contract out of the devil's hand.
Yeah,
and then but he did actually die not that long after.
Yeah.
So I think he potentially had seizures of some description or some sort of undiagnosed epilepsy.
Well, the devil had already tricked him beforehand because whenever you deal with the devil, you should always deal in blood on the contract. And he was given a piece of paper that was actually worthless.
Well, no, we had both.
Supposedly.
So
you
the
said the
devil keeps the blood,
one.
So the devil has the blood
but
one.
Both of them should have been blooded.
There you go. We get a lawyer in. I'm sure. He's a tricky man.
This is one of the things I was checking out about, and it was like it's interesting, man. It's spooky.
Yeah. So there was another violinist, Paganini, Niccolo Paganini.
Yeah.
Who was an Italian violinist, guitarist, and composer. He was born in Italy in 1782, and apparently he had such a technique that he was able to play like 20 notes a second.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And also, he'd been playing from the age of 7 and performing in public from the age of 11. But when he turned 13, he was basically the most famous violinist around. Paganini was so talented that they sent him to a teacher, and again after a few months, the teacher sent his own teacher. Basically became the student. Yeah, because Paganini was too talented for him.
And supposedly as well, they already thought he'd made a deal with the devil, and when he grew up, his fingers were very long and gangly, and he was tall, but really skinny, and he used to, bounce around.
Yeah.
And he used to move in contortional ways. That it used to freak everyone out to go and watch him.
Really? Because,
Yeah.
he was basically like, people would be mesmerised.
Yeah.
He was so skilled. He'd be able to memorise whole sheet music without, any effort.
That's a brain, man.
So, was it aided by, devil worshipping and fucking Satanism?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, it must have been the parents.
You gotta
it can't have
admit,
been him.
some people are just skilled. You can't say that they're not.
Genius is born. You know what I mean? It does happen. We need a couple.
Well, they thought Satan had given magical powers. Is the line?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they had suspicions about him. It's like, you little fucker, how are you getting all this?
I mean, like you were saying about modern day, you've mentioned Eminem and people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, these other kind of cults and areas like MS-13.
Well,
Apparently, right, so there's this gang, MS-13, which apparently the actual founders were Satanists.
Yeah.
And one of the things that members have said is that when they're doing their activities, they feel like the devil's with them. And have you seen these they kind of roll this sort of look with the tattooed faces with the sort of skull sort of motif.
Yeah, skull and bones and all
and
all
it's
that.
almost like they're leaning into it as well.
But then it could be pictured as an art.
Well, the people who kind of founded the organization, if they were kind of building their organization on a belief structure, then I feel like that's still in place today, even if those kind of people
even if
aren't
it's
in the
underground,
picture
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the people who founded
Yeah, but
it.
it could change with inside it.
Well, you don't know.
You know-
They do.
you know
They're
what I
still
mean?
in operation, but I mean, they do say like the devil. They feel like he's on their side, or when they're operating. There's been a fair few. I mean, Christian Bale
Yeah.
apparently has been said to have made a deal with the devil.
Who's he?
Batman.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
No, you're not.
No, he's not even now. It's like that guy from the Twilight.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was.
Yeah, and what was he called?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care. He's he's a nobody to me. To be honest,
It wasn't. Who's your Batman?
who's my Batman? My Batman's got to be
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Keaton's one of the favourites. Yeah,
Keaton's Batman. Yeah,
yeah. But the Dark Knight and that one,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Have you got any more stories or people that you want to bring up? I've got a few. I'll try and find them.
I was going to go into stuff like how about those who won and did the deal with the devil. What does that mean about those who have been trying to get there and trying to get to the and even tried to get to the devil? Because there are a lot of people who don't get to where they want to go because there's only a few spaces. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like,
so
Satan's
10%
got,
of them.
like, I'm booked up today. I can't fit everyone in.
Well, no, but how come certain people who have got to the top of their game actually those who have been dealing with the devil
No.
and all those ones who have been at the
bottom.
bottom.
Well, I'm trying to answer your question. So basically, right, yeah. I feel like if you're in a low place, right, where you've probably lost your job, you've got no prospects, you
looking for a way out.
You want to play guitar or you want to be the best musician you can be because that'd be a way out for you. Yeah. Is it a case of that nobody's like at the top of the game or doing really well and then goes, do you know what? I'm going to do that deal. Yeah, right. It's always when people are at the lowest, right? When people,
totally.
I mean, even
but there's a lot of people who've
even
been at the
as a
lowest.
non-religious person, right? You know, you have low points and you're praying, or like hoping and kind of like asking for that help, So I'd believe that it's taking advantage of a person in a low situation, because, you know, from a deal-making perspective, are you not going to be getting the better end of the stick knowing you're dealing with a desperate person who will take anything?
Why isn't there a load of people? Because I could guarantee there's like a 10% of them who
like
turn
I
around
just
and
said
gone,
there, mate,
devil,
at the end
help
of
me
the
out.
day, right? I mean, it's what's more desirable because at the end of the day, you've got...
Because alternatively...
Again, let me finish, because at the end of the day, if you've got... you know, a quota to fill of souls you need to be bringing into your kingdom, then, you know, I'm not being funny, but a good percentage of people would already be there. They've already done whatever they've done to warrant being in that situation. So if they're asking for favours, well, what's the benefit to the devil there? So we don't have to answer their questions or answer their prayers, because... But then there's more desirable people who maybe who've been quite moral and good all through their lives, and then, you know, they hit a rock bottom, and you get your Jimmy Pages and your kind of your blues guitarists and violinists and all that. Because let's face it, these are all artists, and what do they say about artists? Starving.
Yeah, but
your Van Goghs and all the rest of it.
Could it be that those who have reached the top have done more bad? Could it be possibly, or could it be just that they're spreading the message? That's why rock and roll went so
maybe
high,
because like
so many
you end
people
up becoming an agent of Satan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're helping spread the word rather than, and it's like, you look, I'm not only, I'm going to make a deal with you that I'll come and live with you in the hellscape that you've created down there.
Yeah, I'll come down and kiss your ass.
But like, you know, while I'm here, I will be like, you know, an advocate of you. I'll be like telling people about you. I'll be writing songs about you. but you just make it so I have a funky life, get loads of chicks, and play really sick music. And he goes, that can be arranged, and then, that's the deal done.
Well, then why hasn't someone turned around and gone, all right, I will sell my soul to you if I'm long living, as in, like, beyond, like, a couple of generations, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe 100 years, 200-300 years or something. And loads of money, and we haven't spotted that person.
Because it's all kind of fantasy, isn't it? I believe it's still kind of like, no matter how many kind of instances we find, right, of this so-called making a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
We were talking about these musical artists earlier. With Johnson, he's lent into it in a way that people are saying it, so why don't make that my sort of persona, make it, I'll write a few songs about it, slip them in.
Yeah, because his first song, his last song, and one of them in the
Crossroads,
middle, was written about the devil, because the lyrics in the last.
So they go, went to the crossroads, fell down to my knees, went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. Yes, the Lord above, have mercy. Save Bob, if you please.
Yeah, and his last one was the devil's knocking on the door. Is it time for me to go now?
I don't know the lyrics to that one.
I'm only remembering little bits.
But basically, I mean, the lyrics about the Crossroad Blues is he's gone to the crossroads. He's fell to his knees and he's asked the Lord above to help him.
Yeah.
And he's got no response or is it the case of that he's asking the Lord to have mercy on his soul for what he's about to do, knowing that he's going to give his soul up for this talent.
Is it right though that the Lord doesn't give those who beg? So if he was begging,
the Lord's all about I help those who help themselves, those who
you just get on with it.
I try not to get involved.
It's nothing to do with me. I just made you. You know what I mean?
I'm just watching Wheel of Fortune. Eating a sandwich.
Like I got enough business in the universe to deal with.
He's probably trying to create a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I say, personally, I believe more in the universe, and I just feel like bad things are going to happen. It's a balance, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it is a balance, then surely, if you are having a bad time at the moment, then things
Good
will
times
get better.
will come back, yeah.
And that's all you've got to think about it. And I feel like fundamentally, the messages that most religions promote, don't kill anyone, don't steal other people's shit,
don't shag over people, fellas.
just morally be a nice person and do. And
have
treat
morals.
people how you want to be treated, and we'll all get on fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like all the other shit, all the other stuff that the kind of gets involved dilutes it, and it kind of gets messy, right?
Yeah.
So you end up with loads of problems and contradictions,
Yeah.
So the idea of a devil and a god, to me, is kind of like mute. It's like you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And if I don't believe in God, I can't believe in the devil. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Now, I don't dispute other people's beliefs, and if they want to believe that's perfectly fine. And
Their
if
choice.
you love, and I'd like to say it is a positive message that religion promotes in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you have these negative aspects. It's like, but is that used as a control method? Because it's like, why would we even make up an element of the religious?
Why do we need 10 commandments to tell us what to do? We should automatically know that kind of shit.
Well, we do automatically know, but I mean, it's the whole dark side. The whole dark side of the religious dogma is that it only exists as a way of saying, so you better behave yourself. Because this. Yeah, right.
That's it. Naughty chairs down there.
So making a deal with, you may as well be going and sitting on Santa's knee and going, I'd like a bicycle for Christmas this year. Right. Because I mean, to me, I feel like that's kind of it's almost fantasy or mythology or But like we said about vampires at the top of the show, all
Yeah.
these things do stem from somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
there's something. There's some connect. That's what I was saying about the Ouija
What do you,
board.
what,
like,
I mean, what
this
do you
little-
believe? I mean, well, I feel like Ouija boards is
But
one thing.
it seems like there's
but
something
I feel like,
there.
well, of course, yeah. In
But
in
you know
one
what I mean?
way,
Yeah.
you're right. But like in other ways, I feel like it like this guy who got a book and it had the incantation and it was specific, ancient by the sounds of it in a scripture that he's kind of had to research and learn how to read
and then learn
the scripture. And then was able to perform it to conjure the devil himself. I feel that's a very specific passage in a book. That tells him exactly how to get in touch. Whereas using a Ouija board is like bit hit and miss. You'd be strangled path. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
you're just hitting the messengers, not the actual the one.
I mean, not necessarily a messenger because, like, I mean.
Could
Again,
be good, could be bad.
Exactly. People automatically assume a ghost might be a bad thing, but it's like not all people are bad. So I assume all ghosts will be the same.
Everyone.
It's like you don't turn into a dickhead after you died. Well, you might
be
a bit cranky.
Yeah,
but,
just a little.
Anyway.
Depends how you died, though, innit?
So where are you standing on the whole kind of like deal with the devil? Is it something that you do? Would you make a deal with the devil if he could provide you
I've been
with...
tempted. I won't disagree against that.
But, I mean, in terms of, like, just asking for monetary riches and stuff like that and trying to
the general,
be successful.
Dickhead things,
But, again, is this, I mean, it's for a short period of time. I mean, let's say, right, I'm wrong and all the religious stuff's right and there is an afterlife and you go to heaven or hell afterwards, right? So, you make a deal with the devil and you're rich for a couple of years... Yeah, and then you die from excess, because you've had all this money and you've just literally blown it on cocaine and women.
Oh, no, I don't want weed and women.
Weed, cocaine and women. You probably get into cocaine. You don't know. You've never had that sort of money before.
Fuck that shit.
Right? So whatever it is, you die of excess about 5 years later. So you've had 5 years of wealth and fame and success. And then an eternity of... being poked and prodded and fires and flames.
Right. Now, I've got a thing about this. Right. So, let's say some people run in this room, kidnap you, send you to a room and torture you for...
a million years?
No, they torture you for 4 years, yeah? Now, by the time you reach the first year, you're probably like, what the fuck are you touching? Well, that's nothing.
What, so you feel like you'd be desensitized?
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the point because, like,
Why? Because you're getting used to it.
How
if
do
you
know?
get used to it, you continue it.
Well, to be honest, if I found that my torture victim was getting used to it, as you put it, I'd be
higher.
I'd be knocking it up a notch.
Yeah, that's all right. More entertainment for me, isn't it?
I'd be like, this guy seems like he's enjoying the torture today.
Obviously, you don't do it with a smiley face. You just have a little giggle in the corner when you can.
All right, so he's like... Just pretend I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Then you get less pain. Yeah, you play the game, It's the devil. You got to play the game with him.
I see you've been tortured before. Yes. Have you been here?
Many years.
Have you been here before? Oh, yes.
Hello, and nice to meet you again.
Yes, I was tortured before by Igor. He was a superb torturer.
Yes, I hope you're much better.
I studied under Igor. He was he was a very good teacher.
You're really good.
I try.
Go on, whip me, boy.
So, moving on. I mean, like you.
Right. Well, I was looking on the other side of like the priesthood and stuff as well, and what it's like says in the Bible about what this kind of stuff goes on. Now, they seem to come back with
like say got popes on it.
Yeah. You cannot sell your soul to the devil. But
is that just in the contract when you sign up to being a priest? It's like, right, like there's none of that.
Yeah,
do that.
It can't do that. It can't just go up to you and go bang. Right, that's mine. But he can take it piece by piece. And what they're trying to say, like in the religious term of those who walk away from the religion, you get in temptations, in smoking, have a drink.
Lost your faith.
Yeah, you losing your faith on it, and that bit by bit. just tears away, so you get less immune to like, oh, I want to pray, or I believe in this, and then turn to the other side or into
Well, that's what I was saying
else.
earlier, because I feel like,
well, in a kind of way,
kind of like a numbers game,
yeah,
right?
They're losing.
If we're all born with original sin,
Yeah,
then we're all fucked straight away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd hazard a guess, if it was a numbers game like between heaven and hell of how many souls are going where, I'd say that there was probably more. No, probably not. What you're saying, that there's more good people in the world than bad people.
I'd like to think so.
I'm talking about, right, yeah, thinking about, like, the most subtle of sins, yeah, right?
Oh, but we're all fucked.
Or of sin that is hell-worthy, yeah, right? But that's just once in your life. People take
and you haven't
granted,
gone to the bishop and...
Well, whatever. I mean, what's life, yeah, right? I've swatted flies before, right? So I could get to fucking the pearly gates and them go, well, you've taken 5,000 lives in your life, and you're like, did I?
What the fuck? Yeah,
it's like, well, yeah,
I wish I knew.
You stood on an ant's nest. There was fucking 200 right there. It's like, well, I didn't know, but it's still a life.
Yeah, but you know about nature. You know nature is alive.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. Is it just human versus humans we're not allowed to do? And that's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the moral thing. It's like we're supposed to be nice to each other.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
If I cut down a plant.
So what I'm getting at is, in terms of like, people like a bit of sin. Yeah, right? Let's not mess about.
We love a little bit
of sin.
Yeah. If we don't get caught.
So is a bit of sin. Is that little bit of sin enough to fucking warrant going to hell? Is what I'm getting at.
Well, we're all going there anyway, so you might as well. Yeah, true.
There you go.
True. Yeah, but I like to think that there's more good people out there.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
I like to say, there are a couple of morons out there. You're a couple of clever people, but, most of them are good.
I'd like to say it's like, it's all kind of like ifs and buts with candy and nuts. Maybe, I don't know.
Coconuts.
It's all a bit coconuts.
It is, but it's the devil we're talking about, you know what I mean? Cheeky chappy.
Do you know what, though, right? Like, when I think... the devil, I do feel like metal, like it is quite a metal sort of like thingy.
Yeah.
But loads of the guitarists and stuff, they're all blues guitarists. Do you think like the blues is kind of the devil's music? Bit of jug action.
That and rock. I've got to agree that they're probably the two finest.
Example. I mean, in terms of like making deals, though, I mean, it does seem to all be in the realms of creativity. Like painters, artists, obviously, guitarists, musicians, and I feel like surely, like you were saying there, it's like I've not found one story where it was like Wall Street mogul makes deal with the devil. But then I have found people who've supposedly time traveled to do just that. But
that's right.
In terms of like the modern day, I feel like even the devil probably has a limit, like you were saying. Of the sort of people he'd make a deal with.
Because we've got to be particular.
A lot of the other people are already on his list. So
that's true. But my thing is like, because I've been looking into this and like into like straw man language, signs and stuff like this. Even space. There is a lot of signs out there that are actually to do with Satan. You know what I mean? And
all the kind of there's a lot of constellations and things that are named after, or like planet, space oddities, things going out there.
Supposed to be, and then you've got the bull in America that is supposed to be, for the financial area. Then you've got square. The square actually means Satan. Then you've got like places like Denver Airport, where you've got statues with the name Satan of a demon-like horse, and then you've got CERN, where you've got the Destroyer Worlds.
That's the Destroyer Worlds, but it's also there was a video that went viral where there was a lot of Satan worshippers out.
Every time they open it,
there's a statue outside CERN that is very satanic. And they come out in cloaks and do a bit of a ritual.
And they say they do it for fun.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like-
Just for fun.
Yeah.
You get the goat blood.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just a case of like, and there's quite a lot of witchcraft, the kind of stuff around now, and sometimes it's sort of like the norm, but you know that it's sort of not as well, you know what I mean? Because there could be something behind it. I mean, you get, like, when you talk about witches, yeah, you get good witches and you get bad witches, there's different kinds.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? There's,
I've got one last devil story, and we were saying about kind of like people. It's mainly musicians, but this is a doctor.
Oh,
So
right.
this is as the legend goes, Dr. Jonathan Gregg Falst was an alchemist. He was an astrologer and lived in Germany. During his early years, around 1500s, he wanted to be the smartest man in the world. So he enjoyed earthly pleasures, and he could be kind of like live a nice life.
Yeah.
But he felt like the education was the key, yeah. So he was supposed to have made a deal with a demon called hang on, let me say this right. Mephilisis.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is spelled MEPHISTOPHELIES. Yeah.
Right.
So according to records, he sodomized some of his male students. Yeah. Right.
What, this demon?
The doctor.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And he was generally abusive and mean towards everybody.
Yeah.
As a professor, he took down. He looked down on everybody. And because he believed he was superior, and again, like he said, the smartest man in the world,
Yeah.
He believed that he was, but everyone believed that he was in cahoots with the devil because he was such an horrible bastard, right? Yeah.
Right, okay.
And that also, his dog was a demon, yeah. So he had a pet dog, which everyone thought was a demon, who could transform from a canine into a human manservant.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it would seem that it was a truly magic fucking lecturer, but
Got some charm.
But during his lifetime, he published several spell books.
Yeah.
And in 1540, it was concluded that an alchemy experiment in his laboratory exploded and he died.
Oh.
So,
well,
yeah. So there you go. That's you done.
Devil.
And that's you dancing with the devil.
Yeah.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Right. Oh, yeah. Jack
Oh, yeah.
Nicholson.
That was great. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, devil films, what's your best devil film? I think there's a couple where you kind of like makes a deal.
Well,
this Tenacious D does the obviously great.
is it Legend? Is it called Legend? It's Tom Cruise is in it.
Oh, I know which one you mean.
Yeah, I think that's...
that's not Legend. Legend's thingy something else, isn't it, with Will Smith? Or is that I Am Legend?
I Am Legend, not yet. But yeah, I think it's called Legend. But yeah, I think that's a good interpretation. I do actually like the devil in that one. That's more of what I would say the devil would look like.
Which one's that? Is that the one where there's like
the last unicorn and
he's suited but still looks pretty sleazy.
Yeah. Well,
hang on, let me go on. You carry on talking.
Yeah, it was basically the last unicorn. The devil got hold of it, and they had to wait till night to slaughter it, and then the light would be day. And he went on a quest. Tom Cruise went on a quest to actually find his lady friend.
Tom Cruise went on a quest.
Yeah, and then the devil was tricking her into actually marrying him and taking on the responsibilities.
Well, top movies about the devil, Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah. Don't tell me that's
Bedazzled. This is what it's brought up.
Oh.
Little Nicky.
Bedazzled was all right. Little Nicky was, it was all right.
It's comedy. I'm trying to find more because like there is more. American Satan.
No, I don't think
The Devil's Advocate. That's the one I was thinking about with that's how I kind of, you'd see him
now.
like sleazy sort of businessman, bit greasy,
Yeah,
but still has all the money and power.
Yeah. I like that one, but the as in the picture of what the devil would look like, I would say Legend was the one that was more like to what I would say he was look like.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
If you know any other people who've made a deal with the devil, or you made a deal yourself,
Oh yeah, please tell us.
give us a shout. Let us know. How did you get in touch? Is there a phone number?
Yeah, we've got
did you page him?
Yeah, we'll
might
write
have
up a
page
contract.
Right, in blood.
Yeah, blood only.
There's a news story, actually. I don't know if we're going to cover it, but I'll kind of skirt over it quickly now. But there was, apparently you can get like a paint which has got blood in it for some reason. I just saw a clip of the news, but I'll see if I can find it. But we might not. I might not, so don't get excited.
Yeah, not too excited yet.
Right.
It's only blood. Don't.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So one thing I did actually think, before we're moving on, because there is actually a fair few bits that we've not covered, but I was thinking Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? Dealing with the devil, mate. Mr. Beast he's called the Beast.
Well, yeah.
Hang on, wait a minute. I think I've got something here. Right, he's got called the Beast, right? Yeah, right. He lures his followers, with promises of suitcases full of money.
Yeah, big money.
By challenging them to
a game,
to games or challenges. Yeah, and he says to say like, I've got 100 people here. Yeah, and one of you are gonna win my suitcase full of money and your soul back.
Yeah, because everyone.
So does that mean the 99 people who lose their souls?
Yeah, are going to hell.
Oh dear.
Sounds like it.
Does sound. He's got like 100 million followers or something stupid now, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah, he's
the mark of the beast.
Come from nowhere as well.
That's crazy. Well, he's been working YouTube for a while, but I mean, he's obviously he was doing like videos that it was just like, I can hold my breath for 2 years and holding his breath as long as he could, and to absolutely giving away money. And I mean, it's like
stupid amounts.
But has he made a deal with the devil? Do you think?
I mean, he's probably one of the best prospects for it, to be honest. More than I'd say quite a lot of famous people in the past, because he,
like say, being an advocate, or maybe he's the devil himself.
Oh, I don't know. I'd think he'd send someone down to open the portal to let him in.
He does look a bit devilish. Old James Beast.
Well, he looks an odd, strange fella.
It's just is what it is, isn't it? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. What was the other thing we were talking about? And you were saying about energies and that, it's like...
because we didn't really talk upon, like, energies and kind of... I wonder if spirits could have any kind of impact. Because if God's alive and the devil's alive, then the spirits in between must be alive.
Again, even though we're kind of like not too sure about the devil and God bit, I feel like that we don't understand like, our perception of like reality and our perception of kind of like different planes of existence. Like totally. What we can see doesn't necessarily mean that that's all there is.
What's there.
So in terms of paranormal and ghosts and what maybe there is another side, but maybe it's not exactly what we expected. Do you know what I mean? It
Very
could just
possible.
be a totally different, like an ascension or a different plane of existence altogether. Our consciousness maybe goes somewhere else, but our bodies die. I don't know, but I feel like in terms of, the idea of, selling or making a deal of any respect, it's kind of like, like prayer. Yeah, you're asking for a favour,
you are.
or you're asking a prayer, or asking for help with something from a higher power. And again, it's not about the right or wrong one, because at the end of the day, it's about your perception or who your God is or who you pray to.
That's true.
Who actually, I mean, if you're a Satanist and you're actually a good person and you get around, do your day, and you don't,
just do your thing.
But you just happen to worship Satan,
Yeah.
then we'll crack on, mate. If you're not hurting anyone, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, right.
They're the main points.
Like,
As long as they're not doing anything, but that's on for every religion.
It's no worse than any other religion that I've seen.
That's
so
true.
you know
That's
what I mean.
True.
It's like
True
if you want to be a Scientologist or whatever, then that's down to you.
Crack on. Yeah.
So in that respect, in terms of like paranormal or kind of like ghosts or spirits, maybe not. I feel like that's totally a different thing, but
different kind of realm.
Yeah, but again, like you say, well, some people would argue that with me and say that it's all one and the same thing. So but maybe it's not, and maybe it is a matter of kind of things we can't see and understand yet. That isn't religious based or it's more scientific based answer than a religious based.
And science isn't the full crack it's all to be either.
One other person who did kind of get who's brought up a lot when you comes to like kind of communing with the devil is Aleister Crowley. I do feel like we will be doing an episode on Aleister Crowley. I think I wanted to do it for a while now. But Aleister Crowley's kind of was suspected of making a deal with the devil.
Yeah, suspected.
I mean, he actually kind of bought. He admitted, communing with like the other side.
Okay.
But he actually bought a house in Scotland, which was facing a lake, and he was basically trying to and facing east. He wanted to try and have the perfect environment to conjure up demons and specifically the devil.
Right, so he was looking into that kind of aspect.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he had
of course.
He
Spent a long time meditating, trying to actually use incantations to bring demons to his into the room. And I don't know if he did it, but he apparently spent a lot of time doing it, or at least making incantations and sitting there and meditating.
Right, so it's interesting.
We will do.
Yeah, we're going to have to do
at some point, so we won't be getting in too deep with that.
No,
but hey, so again, if you've got anything you want to add to the show, get in touch at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com or at neverstraightanswer.co.uk. Also, we're on social media, so hit us up for a message on there.
We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere
all day. Yeah, so we've got some news, I think.
I think we have.
Okay, we'll get straight on with that. It's the news! Breaking news. Taylor is another year older.
Yes, I am.
Happy
and
birthday.
I'm still smart.
Thank
you.
Again. So good. I've got some news story to kick off. We do the news. We find the news stories. We take about 20 minutes. Yeah. You know the dance. Yeah. Right, well, we've got this story. Right, yeah. So, sort of on the fucking thing with it tonight. Yeah. Beyond Meat people. Yeah, right. Do you know Beyond Meat?
Yeah.
Like vegan meat.
Yeah.
We've had a number of stories on it, but like this one kind of made me tickle because
fucking 8 birds I'd
these are Beyond Meat. He's basically have to suspend the COO, right. After arrest. He's been arrested for allegedly biting a man's nose.
What the?
He's like, it's not beyond nose.
No.
Still,
and that's meat.
Nose. Yeah, that is meat.
Human meat,
right.
but it's meat.
You know what's going to happen now? They're going to bring out a line of like processed noses that, it's like it looks like a nose, it smells like a nose.
It's a carrot.
You can pick it.
You can,
but it's vegetables.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Well, he's been arrested for biting a man's nose. I'm assuming this was in a protest of Beyond Meat.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, so I think Chief Operating Officer Doug Ramsey has been suspended effective immediately after the company said on Tuesday. Following reports that the executive had allegedly bitten a man's nose during an altercation. The plant-based meat producer said the range of prosthetic noses will be on sale. No, I'm not joking. Beyond Picking, they're called.
Oh, days, man.
Pull a sprout out or a bean, a little green bean. No, I'm joking.
I'm just hating them kind of companies at the minute, especially like. I
mean,
like
this is the thing, though. It doesn't take much for people to drop interest in the company after something like this, because shares in the company, which closed at 6% on Tuesday, were up 0.6.
What?
Extended trading.
Oh shit!
So but is that? Again, is that because people have not heard about it and they just would have gone up anyway?
No, I think they would have done something to actually make it, stay high and the management have done something. We'll give everybody
a freebie on nose. You can too bite a nose.
Oh no!
I don't know. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows? He doesn't know. Knows.
It's been obviously the Queen's funeral was happened last week. This week, Monday. Bank holiday was a bank holiday Monday. But there was another important thing that had to be cancelled due to the Queen's funeral, which was Guinea Pig Awareness Week.
Oh no! So we don't have to be aware of them now.
Nope.
Yeah, we just kick them around and just walk down the street. Oh, guinea pig! What? No,
so it's just pay no attention to the guinea pig. What the hell? Stop
being invaded by guinea pigs. That's what we're talking about, guinea pigs.
Gremlins in the system, guinea pigs. So devoted guinea pig fans, had to kind of bypass the Guinea Pig Awareness Week, as it was cancelled due to the Queen's funeral.
Yeah, enough of it.
Writing on Facebook, those people who were would have attended. Said that it was an important week and an announcement of sad news. But they will be rescheduling the Guinea Pig Awareness Week.
Then what are they complaining about? Rescheduling, you know what I mean? They're going to get another day. Yeah, it'd be raining. That'd be the problem. The guinea pigs will be all fluffy and fairy.
They'll all just be like little drowned rats, won't they? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, there you go.
Oh, well.
What have you got?
They'll get their day. Well, I've actually got one about vampires. Funny enough, yeah. But, found in a strange way. In Poland, they've dug up a grave, a 17th century grave, and they found a female buried with a stake, but it's not in the heart, it's actually across the neck.
Well, that'll kill you.
Yeah, in case...
If you're a vampire or not.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. What? So it was there just in case, sticking out the coffin just in case it got up?
No, across its neck. In case it got up, then it would actually have its head cut off.
Right, by a wooden stake.
No, it's not a wooden stake. It's a metal stake that's sharpened on one side. So if it was a vampire and it would actually climb out, it would chop its head off before it would go boo.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Well, it'd have to try and get out with some force.
Well, that's what they think it's a vampire because it's got the front teeth as well.
Has it got fangs?
It's got fangs, yeah.
And where have they found this?
They found it in Poland. But in the 11th century in Europe, Eastern Europe, there was a lot of frights about vampires and that.
I love vampire stuff, though, to be honest. I mean, a big fan of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
I feel like, the Eastern European vampire myth is definitely something that has... There's something to it. Obviously, like you say, there's no smoke without fire with these sort of urban legends.
Yeah.
It is an interesting one, and I'd like to kind of look into it a bit more, to be honest, because, like you say... Well, they've found this body now.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Have they kind of have they got a DNA test it to find out if it is like human or if there is any differences?
I never even thought of that.
To kind of the skeletal structure.
Hold on. I've just thought of something. Right, I seen the picture of it. Yeah. Now it was in daylight, so why aren't the bones actually gone to ash?
I don't know.
So it can't be then, can it?
So you think that even the skeleton of a vampire in daylight would burn up?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Why would you just do the skin?
Well, because it's probably just like,
to bring it back together when it goes into a grave.
Like the calcium in the bones would have calcified and went harder over the years, as a skeleton in the ground.
Yeah.
And then potentially it's like bones from a human skeleton. I don't know. Did they go more brittle or did they go harder?
Because they do.
Go more brittle?
As time goes on. But, you have to dry that fucker out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you think that it's going to spontaneously combust if it gets a bit of sunlight on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a living vampire. I
again,
often wondered why that would be anyway. I mean, these conditions. I think there was a guy who lived near us growing up, and he had orange blinds in every window.
Yeah, you couldn't have no sunlight.
And he was allergic to sunlight. Yeah. And in the sense that,
people who are.
I often thought he was a vampire, mate. I always thought he was a vampire because you never saw him.
Yeah.
And I only ever saw him once, at night. Yeah.
Never know.
And it turned out that he had a condition where he was allergic to sunlight, or he'd get burnt really, really badly in the sunlight. And I kind of thought that was vampirish.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Back in the day as well, people probably think of that
if there was somebody who had that condition and you're not aware of it, or you're just kind of,
and then a name gets thrown onto you.
The scientific sort of answer to it's not around, so nobody's. So what you're gonna think? Well, this guy burns when he goes in the sun. He's a bit he's a
demon.
weird. He has to stay in. He only comes out at night.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that'll get attached to him as like a bit odd.
It's Chinese whispers, but then goes through the centuries if you think about it.
Yeah, totally, maybe.
Because they've taken the wrong end of the stick. They don't actually know what's going on, but they're going on.
Well, it'd be interesting to find out about this one, see if any sort of tests are being done on the skeletal structure.
Yeah.
And see if he is actually a vampire.
Yeah. But like I say, I don't think so.
The first
now.
vampire ever found.
Well, I don't think first. I think there's been possibly others. Possibly.
They say Vlad the Impaler was a vampire.
Well, they say it, but I don't believe it.
Well, they say Tom Cruise was a vampire.
Well, yeah, he might be,
He was.
Yeah, he wears sunblock. You know what I mean? He's always got them glasses on.
True.
You know what I mean? He's always got his hair dark and, coloured.
Well, this is a story I found, not vampire related, but it is SpongeBob related.
Oh, SpongeBob.
Yeah, so
Filthy pants.
See, I was sent a text this morning, and this is why it makes me laugh, because I got sent a message from one of our friends, and he was saying that he had SpongeBob socks on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture.
So I was like, oh, great. And he went, no, but the Gary socks. Yeah. And I'm Gaz. And he was like, the Gary socks, though? And I was like, oh, yeah, great. Then, yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
And then I seen this news story, and I thought, oh, I have to send this to him, because SpongeBob socks lead to the arrest of serial burglar, police say.
Oh, so our friend is a burglar.
So that's what I said. I said, this is a solid lead. I'm going to have to call Crime Stoppers.
Yeah. Get that reward, man.
I need the reward money.
Yeah, man.
So, so this is a man who wore distinctive shorts and socks.
Yeah.
That kind of got him caught. This is kind of like, I don't know, I've just finished watching Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who, I don't know if you've not seen it, I don't really want to spoil it for you, but there's a guy who goes and he's talking about his one-of-a-kind custom sneaks. Yeah. But then goes and pulls off a robbery and then gets caught because the video camera picks up. The only thing it picks up is his sneaks. And he's telling everyone they're all custom-made, only one-of-a-kind.
And now
so obviously now everybody knows who it is. Do you know what I mean? So this is a sort of thing. So this is... the police say that a pair of SpongeBob-themed socks helped them catch this burglar. This was in Tulsa Police Tulsa. So Tulsa Police Department said officers arrested Edward Price, a.k.a. Smackman.
SpongeBob man.
No, he's called Smackman.
Smackman?
You'd go around calling himself Smackman.
Is he like a bit of smack or something?
I'm a Smackman. I'm the Smack Man.
Either that or he's a kinky fucker.
Right, well, Smackman was Smackman. It's a fucking cross between of Smackhead and Pac-Man.
Yeah, like smacking both ways.
Chasing waka waka waka. We're chasing crack pellets. So they arrested him at his apartment complex for multiple burglaries. The police received loads of goods, including a couple of lawnmowers, trimmers, that sort of thing.
They go for the good stuff.
I'm only messing. I don't know what they got. But they said that they went in the front door and he had loads of stolen items, including electronics and guns.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
oh,
so
that's not good. That's
so
a
that
good
way,
charge.
but he was caught, like I say, because of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Well, the guy's a national hero for that country, ain't he? Especially now at the minute.
Well,
Better
SpongeBob
than the
is
president.
responsible for taking Smackman down. So yeah.
Learn, Mr. President.
So yeah, have you got some more news for me? I've got one here actually. You crack on though.
All right. Well, it's only a little small one. They're on the march again. The BBC licenses.
Oh, we should nobody pay your license fee.
Yeah, if they knock at your door,
Tell them
just,
to fuck off.
no, don't even say that. Just say no, thanks. Close the door. Done. Don't have to deal with that again. You're just gonna have to do it again this year. I think the price has gone down now.
The thing is, like I keep saying, if you ring them up and actually right, so when you get your letter,
yeah, you can.
There's a phone number on there.
Yeah.
Ring them up and say, "Hi there, Mr. TV license person.
Well, this one's twist your arm.
I'm just ringing you up to inform you that I don't use your services. Yeah, I've got no intention of using your services, and I don't really feel like I want to be paying my license for not using your services.
Yeah,
so, could you please put me on the list for my property, not to be bothered?
And a swap.
Yeah, and they will put you on a list of properties that don't require a TV license.
Yeah,
which will last you 3 years. Yeah,
Two,
right.
I think.
Well, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
By the third year, you will start receiving letters in the name of the occupant.
That's
right. Because they'll be trying to find the next person who's potentially living at that address.
Yeah, who they can rob money
and then you
out
ring
of.
them back up again and go, well, I told you last time I don't require a TV license. And they'll go, sorry about that, and put you back on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so,
right.
if you legitimately don't use a service, then don't
Then
pay
don't
for
pay
it.
for it. Yeah, don't pay for it because you think you ought to. You know what I mean? It's like
or because it's just the norm. But I mean, at the end of the day,
expensive. Everything's getting expensive at the minute as well. So you know what I mean. You need to cut back on certain
well, the
things.
thing
that don't
is,
need
because
to go
this sort of cost of living crisis,
Yeah.
you'll find that all these companies, like the TV licensing, will be starting to kind of crack down and try and retrieve money. That they think they're owed.
Yeah.
And I
try
find
and
that with debt
bamboozle you.
collectors,
Yeah.
debt
Gonna be a lot
collection
of them coming
companies,
out.
they'll be all coming out the
Yeah.
woodwork. You've got TV licensing. These types of things that are kind of being imposed upon you, which aren't really things that you should have to pay. They should be,
Not
the idea
necessary.
of if I don't want it, I don't pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't pay for, if I don't pay for Sky Movies, I don't get Sky Movies.
Yeah.
And in the same respect, we're in a digital age. We shouldn't pay for BBC if we don't use it.
Exactly.
Right? So, if you don't pay it and you feel legitimate, tell them. Ring them up, say, don't use your service, I want to opt out.
Yeah.
I have a TV. I use it for video games.
Yeah, and don't invite them in because they will try anything to try and get in and copy you, even through the window. Or even look through the window if you're...
He's a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. A new island's emerged.
Oh, is it Highland Brazil?
I claim it's mine.
Is it yours?
I'm calling it Gazland.
Oh, no, not a Gasland.
Dunksville.
How big is it?
New islands emerged in the sea after 11 hours of a volcanic eruption.
I wouldn't like to live on there for a bit.
No, not for a bit, but, claim now. So
Are you claiming it?
Yeah, it's mine now.
Don't you have to land on there
I've
first?
got a flag. Retrospect.
Have you?
I'll put it there in later. But
Is it
I've said it. It's on the record. It's mine.
You're claiming
Volcanic
for it,
eruptions in the Pacific Ocean
Pacific. Oh.
have created a new island
Got an airport yet?
in Tonga. Its growth captured on satellite.
Oh, mint. Oh,
So
that's good.
you're able to see actually how fast it grew. The underwater volcano awoke on Saturday the 10th of September. Just 11 hours later, a new island came out. A new island formed. So it was an underwater eruption, I take it.
Yeah, there's lots under there. Though.
So it sprung out the island.
The island, did it?
The island sprung out the ocean, even.
Yeah.
And NASA's Earth Observatory said that released the news on September 14th.
Right, see.
So the volcano
Like
along the home reef continued to gush lava, oozing gas, and steam multiple times a day, according to an update. But yeah, it's never created, this sort of landmass before, but now this island's just appeared.
More land for us to destroy.
I think Tonga's got a few islands like that, though. I think there's quite a few islands around, because Tonga's just off Australia and New Zealand, I think.
Yeah, and I think they've just signed with the King, actually, to be a part of the Commonwealth.
Oh, great.
Just signed up, yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome all. Welcome one and all.
Was that one of his first things? It was like,
no, it was done under the Queen.
Want to join us?
2 countries joined, and I think 2 are looking at leaving now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't really blame people if they don't feel like it represents their people and their countries.
Yeah, it's down to the people of the country.
If I lived in a country that, like wasn't the UK, and I felt like, but I was in the Commonwealth, and I didn't feel like
you were part of the UK.
I was part of the Commonwealth or that monarchy was doing anything for our country and the people who lived in it, then maybe I'd be like, maybe we'd do better on our own independent. So I wouldn't blame it, them for wanting that.
Barbados did it last year, didn't they?
I think Jamaica are after doing it as well. So,
there's a couple of islands
it's like happy. I mean, I'm happy to say, crack on, to be honest.
If you think you can deal without us,
I mean, it's not even a case of that. If you think you can do without us.
No, I'm not doing it in a way of like saying don't do it. No, I mean, like, we're always here if you need.
We're always here if you need us.
Yeah.
It sounds like that in there. What's it? We're here if you need us.
Yeah.
Back end of labyrinth.
Knowing the government, they probably put an extra penalty or 2 on there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. Sorry about that one.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Yes, I have, actually. I don't like it.
Well, it's a kid's film, isn't it? But it is, what is it, a Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
No, 20th Century Fox.
Is it? All right.
Yeah, which is now actually Disney.
Well, yes.
Well, there was an actor in it who was determined not to be the Wimpy Kid.
All right.
He's an actor from the franchise who murdered his mum.
What
then attempted to kill the president, the Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh, well,
Trudeau.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I sort of don't blame him at a minute of what's going on over there.
This is an actor from the beloved 20th century movie franchise, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He's not the main actor, but an actor in the film, has allegedly admitted to a plot to kill the Canadian Prime Minister. Ryan Grantham, 24, has pleaded guilty on second-degree murder after killing his mother in British Columbia.
Fucking hell.
So this has all gone to the Supreme Court, and it was heard this week. Grantham shot the 64-year-old mother in March 2020 and allegedly loaded his car the next day with guns and ammunition and dozens of Molotov cocktails, camping supplies, and directions to the Prime Minister's house.
What the fuck?
So, so Grantham allegedly admitted to the plans to kill the Prime Minister in a statement.
Well, I gotta say, some people are getting pushed to the limit out there. To be honest, I could see this coming. There's been a lot of that kind of action, attempted assassinations over the last couple of weeks.
I mean, wonder what his motives were behind it. I mean,
it'd be all the changes because are they doing the passport thing? I think they might be doing the passport thing, where they're forcing people. You have to have this, or no, you have to have the injection. You have to have it to actually.
Well, I don't know if that. I can't say.
He's gone hardline over there.
What it is, but I mean,
I know they're having major issues over there, and the people are not liking what he's doing.
I mean, all I can say for the moment is that he's, he's never met Trudeau, and he never made it to Trudeau, the Prime Minister's house. Oh. He was intercepted by the police. And now he's basically saying that he was going to do it, and that's all that they've kind of said. There was no information about the motives, why he felt like doing it.
Could have been just a fucking nut job.
I mean, he was just an actor that was. He was on Riverdale. He was on Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Other than that, I mean, you can't really understand what it was, his motivations, or why he did it.
Could have had a high career, and then it just dropped down, and it's like,
that's his mum's and the Prime Minister's fault, is it? Yeah. I don't know. I can't.
She pissed me off one morning. She didn't serve me breakfast. Never know. Some people can crack like that.
Yeah, true.
It's just one of them things. It's It's a problem with society.
Well, people can just crack, and some people crack for the strangest reasons. I've got a Michigan man who wanted weed so badly, that he pulled up at a Canadian customs checkpoint and asked the attendant if he could buy some. Kyle's
Did he get half ounce?
Schultz decided declared he had some marijuana, and then asked the border guard if he could purchase pot from him. During the conversation, the Canadian Border Service agent officer noticed that the driver was a bit unstable on his feet, and his eyes were a bit glassy, and his pupils were dilated. He also admitted that he'd been smoking grass and was a bit impaired.
Oh, no.
But still tried to buy some from the Border Patrol. I can imagine how the conversation was going, like, come on, mate.
Yeah, but isn't it legal over there now?
Well, it's Canada, isn't it? Yeah.
It's legal in Canada.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, is this a man who's from the States who's drove to the Canadian border to ask the guy on the Border Patrol, can he buy some weed off him?
Yeah, and fucked up too stoned. He forgot which side.
I feel like that's the way that's gone. So he's pulled up from the States, hasn't he?
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah.
Or the officers arresting him because he's admitted he's impaired. He can't drive. He has been driving, so undue care and attention. He's probably broke the speed limit as well, so why don't we throw a shitload of charges on him?
Yeah, I think basically, he's gone to the Canadian border, but then the police have been called and he was taken to the bridge and then transported off-site. Yeah.
Fucking stoners.
So, this is it,
Great
though.
people.
When you're desperate, though...
When you want to laugh, you can always count on a soul now.
When you're desperate. I had somebody... I was working, and some guy came over to me and went, excuse me, do you know where I can get some weed? Like, this wasn't somebody in work. I was working outside. Like, I was outside of the building.
Yeah.
And this was a pedestrian, somebody off the street who asked me. Yeah,
some
right.
odd job.
Just some random person.
Yeah.
He said, do you know anywhere? And I said, no, I can't help you. And he went, there's no back street around here or anything. And I was like, not that I know of. I don't know. Like, and I said, I don't know. Head to the centre of town. I'm sure you'll find somebody like hanging around Piccadilly Gardens or someone like who might be able to help you.
Yeah.
Like, but like, it's just, I just feel like it's like, are you a policeman?
You're not getting me off.
People are will just go to people in the street and go, excuse me.
Yeah, but then some people are that desperate that they'd do anything, you know what I mean? They don't care. They walk up to a stranger and ask because, I might be able to get, but if not a bud, a cigarette.
Yeah, I don't
and it's
know.
like, bud isn't that? It makes it look addictive when the bud isn't, unless someone's thrown some shit on it.
If it's not,
if it's not been tainted, then you shouldn't be addicted to it, and you should be able to stop it. But there are people out there who can't.
I think
have
there's
that
people
control as well.
Like Boris Johnson. I think he's been smoking the bud.
Oh yeah, he needs to.
He's very forgetful, isn't he? Because what was it? His most recent one. Boris Johnson mistakenly thanks Vladimir Putin for his inspirational leadership.
Oh really?
Yeah. Instead of Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, he slipped up during the first major chat with the MPs when now he's a backbencher.
Yeah, that's right.
It was during like a debate about the war in Ukraine when it was pretty important, and he was saying we need to double down on the defences of the Ukraine, and then basically said obviously this thing about Putin and his inspirational leadership.
Yeah,
and it's like, what a dick.
I can't believe I missed that as well, because I was actually watching
that,
it.
You?
Yeah, and I was actually doing something else while it was on when he was talking.
Funny guy, isn't he? Aren't we glad he's not?
Yeah, it's not like he hasn't done a big boo boo before in the House of Commons when he said about that lady who was a photographer for some paper or something, and she wasn't, and she got 5 years. Wasn't it in Libya?
Oh yeah.
And she got all because of his gaff. But what do you expect? Then he got bolted in. You know what I mean? It's a case of
silly guy.
He did bring some all right stuff, but like a lot of his and he had a lot on his plate as well. And I'm not giving excuses for
Boris
him
Johnson was a pathological liar, right? Yeah, who couldn't
All
tell
of
the
them are.
truth if his fucking life depended on it.
All of them
right?
are.
Yeah, that's politicians for you.
Yeah.
But he lies on the record. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
And
get a giggle out of him, don't
That's
you?
the thing about Boris Johnson. He doesn't just lie. He lies on camera. Yeah. And then 10 minutes later, he's saying, I didn't say that. And then he's like, well, you actually did, because we've got evidence to say you did. And he'll go, oh, I don't remember that. I didn't mean it like that. Or tries to wheedle his way out of it.
He was the king.
So, don't fucking buy half of that. And definitely don't buy that haircut. It's as shaggy as a mountain goat. Go on, what have you got to talk about?
Oh, have you ever thought of robbing your own savings?
No, because it's mine. I would only be stealing from myself.
A lady.
A
lady who had her savings in the bank, and the bank basically turned round and said,
"Oh, it's like one of these, isn't it? It's like where
you can't have your money."
Well, no, it's like you buy something frivolous that you didn't really want, and rather than taking it back, or maybe that was too expensive, and rather than, take it back and get the money back for it, you report your card stolen, and this transaction must have been one of the purchases that the thief has used and bought on my card. Do you know what I mean? Like, is that kind of the idea you're going for here? Or, because that's how I can't understand how you'd rob your own savings.
Because in what they've done in China,
it and then saying that somebody's stolen it.
Well, Libyan banks have stopped deposits of going out, doing basically what they did in China, in part of China, sorry. And this woman basically come into the bank with a gun, which ended up being a toy gun.
And that's just for her money?
In her own account, she asked for 13 grand, and that was it. So she got the 13 grand, went out, and the reason why she was doing it is because her sister was dying of cancer and she needed the drugs, and that's how much it cost. Her next move was, if she couldn't get the money, was to actually take a piece out of her to sell. Right. That was her next move after that. So she'd been put right to the hilt,
so
and
by
a
going
lot
into
more
the
has
bank,
happened
she's gone
now.
into the bank though, with a weapon, or it's basically armed robbery, despite what she's using a toy gun. Yeah,
it's still
classed as armed robbery, right?
The victims think it's a real one.
So what she done? Slipped him a piece of paper with her account number on it.
No,
and said, "I want 13 grand out of this account."
Yeah.
So isn't that why she couldn't have? She just walked into the bank and asked for 13 grand.
They would have told her fuck off.
So basically, she's got a loan.
No, she's got her money out of her account.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She could have just walked into the bank and took her money out.
No, she couldn't.
Why?
Because they
the
closed
banks have
all
said that nobody's allowed to take any money out of their own accounts.
They've done exactly what they did in China.
Well, good for her then.
Yeah. And a lot more people did it. A guy actually went in
with a real gun. It's like if you've saved up and all your money's in the bank, and then the bank turn around and go, "Sorry, you can't have your money." Well, what's she supposed to do if it's a life and death situation for a sister?
Yeah, but
it's like going in shotgun.
But the problem is that could happen here. We legally sign them paperwork. All legal tender goes to them.
Everybody goes and bank robs their own savings.
No,
but I mean, I'm sure there's better ways. But
yeah, but it could happen here. It could happen anywhere, because if
you might,
them terms and conditions,
there'll be queues around the fucking NatWest.
Well, there was with BlackRock.
Well, there was with wasn't there a few years ago? There was queues around everyone withdrawing all the monies out of banks because they felt like there was going to be a crash.
Yeah,
that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them. But yeah, this woman went in and robbed her own money for her sister.
Well, I kind of feel like that was a right thing to do, and I feel like if she would have explained that,
she's going to get a shitload of charges, I reckon.
To the bank, though, she's saying, "Look, this is my money, and I need it for these reasons." Then maybe she could have come up with maybe she did do that, and this, like you say, was a last resort. She wasn't getting anywhere, and it's like, well, what, mate? I've got so much money in this account.
Yeah.
I need it out.
Yeah. And take it. I mean, I won't put it past it if it happened to me.
It'd stress me out, that. because you'd be like, no, it's mine.
Well, this is it. But legal tender goes to the bank. They could refuse to give you money at any point, including in Britain.
Oh, well, that's something to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just one of them. It's just one
Have
of them.
you got nothing cheerier?
Yeah.
For your birthday?
Yeah. Have you got out?
I've got one or two more stories. I've got
right,
one story and then 3 NASA news.
I've got one to cheer you up a bit.
Go on.
Right, well, you was asking a week ago, actually, about, what's going to happen with these post boxes with, the Queen gone and the new
monarchm,
king. Yeah. So people have been wondering why red post boxes are all being put GR now. So they are actually starting to do it on post boxes.
They're actually doing it now,
yeah. So the king is getting on the post box.
So what's the GR stand for?
George, isn't it?
Yeah, but George what?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Rex.
Actually, it's King Charles, isn't it? So
George Rex, I think.
Yeah, because it could be to do. You know what? I don't. That.
I think it is Rex. I'm not sure. But I wondered why that was.
Yeah.
Because
I've only just thought of that. Then
it's not Charles Royal, is it? He's Charles Windsor,
and it's not. It's G.
Yeah. It's GR. So what's the G?
What's the G? I would have thought George, but
George,
because I think George might be an inner name. Because you have about 4 or 5 names.
Yeah, but I mean, as a monarchm, like you'd feel like the most recognisable thing to you is
and
like
it'd be a part of his father as well.
If you get your initials embroidered on your pajamas, you get your initials, don't you? You don't go, well, I'm gonna get my middle name and my dog's first name because they're important.
Sounds like a porno.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The porno name.
That actually is my porn name.
Yeah.
Not going to tell you what it is, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's again, they are doing it. So I feel like this is going to roll out quicker than we thought in a lot of ways.
I think so.
In terms of what's next, it's the coronation coming up. So I should imagine we'll have a bit more information on that in the next week.
Yeah, I think it's got to happen.
We'll hear that's definitely going to be happen pretty soon. I mean, in terms of when the Queen got coronated, she got coronated literally
about 3 weeks.
3 weeks after the death,
yeah.
and she was announced Queen the day after.
Yeah.
Which is it's quite fast, especially when mourning. But
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got this story. It's a weird one. This one.
All right.
Mountain goats.
Oh yeah.
We always end the show with a goat.
We do.
They're not native species to this park, right? So this is a park, Olympic National Park, in Washington State. Right. And there's a lot of people who go there, and it's pretty nice walking paths and trails and stuff. If any listeners have ever been there, let us know. I'd like to see photos.
Yeah.
I'd love to see photos of the national park trails. And the goats as well. Mountain goats aren't native, like I say.
Nope.
But they were introduced in 1920, and the numbers have blossomed over the years.
They're loving
it's
it
about
there.
700.
Nice.
But now humans have been, checking it out and been doing the trails, especially over the lockdown when people had nothing better to do than go for a walk.
That's true.
And these goats have basically they've got a taste for human urine.
Human urine?
Human pee-pee.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's down to the fact that they're really drawn to it because it's got a strong odor, but it also contains a lot of salt and minerals that these
a lot of waste.
crave.
Yeah.
So these hikers are going around having a pee on a rock, and then
these guys
they're going, loving this.
Dinner time.
Lick the rock.
Yeah.
And they're getting the minerals and stuff, but it's obviously driving the numbers up in a lot of ways because it's attracting more goats to the paths.
They like the pee. It's like catnip.
According to a contact at the National Park Services and Forest Services, park authorities say that they're going to have to do something, but they're using GPS collars on the goats as part of a 9 series. What is it? In 9 sites. To track the movements, and this is what they found. They've said that they've got this sort of attraction to human pee. And also,
I'm surprised you didn't ask the gentlemen, can you piss in a bottle, please?
They might have.
Well, yeah, but are you gonna?
It's
I'm not carrying pee around with me.
It's like Batman. Or he's got his shark repellent. He's got his goat attractor. It's just like I wonder why, like, you know, when you're you know, at a petting zoo, goats always start headbutting the groin. Maybe that's it. They can
head level, innit?
No, well, head level, but also they could probably about like you got their pee in there.
Yeah, they might be trying to get in your shorts. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they do like they've known for eating shorts.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, they love a bit of shorts.
As usual, we go ending on an animal story. So yeah, we've got some NASA news though.
We have.
And
indeed.
have you ever wondered?
I have.
What sex in space would look like? Well, NASA claim it'll be like nothing we've ever seen before.
Seen before? Why? What the fuck's gonna pop out here?
0G sexy time. I don't know. It's not about what's popping out here, unless you like, you know, dealing with xenomorphs.
Yeah, well,
like, you know, we've seen Alien. And is it popping out of your stomach?
Yeah, it could do.
Oh, no. I mean, in terms of like, you know, zero gravity.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
What would that be like between, you know, you know, all of everything that's going on? It's something that you never think about.
Didn't they do it? They did the experiment like around about 2004, something like that, where they sent a couple up to actually mate. And
really?
And it was like, because was there not a quiz, but I think they were asking for volunteers, and they were going to pick one couple, and they picked one couple and then sent them up, did the thing. Did the chicky wow, and then come back down, and it was like, how was it for you, mate? Yeah, it was wicked. Let's go
she
again.
Went, it was all right.
It was all right. Yeah. I've had better. I've had worse.
Well, no, I mean, it's weird though, because if you think about, you know, the act of making love with Bowie, with a bit of Barry White on. I was going to say Bowie, but you know, but we could have Bowie on. He's a
bit of champagne on ice.
Spaceman.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the life on Mars. Well, there will be.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's about like friction and movement, and like, you know, if you've got nothing to grab onto in 0G, how's that going to work? I mean, in terms of, more each other, but like, you know, if there's no bedpost or anything.
I'd be more worried on when my head's going to crack onto the life machine.
If you're in the middle of space, or if you're in space, then...
but they're not exactly big, are they? They're like a little fucking.
I'm sure that. Do you know what? It won't be long before they've reinvented a spacesuit, and there'll be a porn on YouPorn or Pornhub.
It's already probably been
which
made.
Is like sex in space, and he's like got his little todger out of his spacesuit.
And it will look small in a spacesuit as well.
This spacesuit does nothing for my girl.
No.
Anyway, so I'm not sure. I feel like, you know, the friction and the movement of sex in space, having nothing to grab onto. It's like she got to put and the fogging up of the helmet.
You can't see it. Oh, fuck her. I can feel it. I can't see it.
I don't know.
What am I shagging here? I don't know.
What are your guys' thoughts? Have you got NASA news?
I have. Well, there's been an alert from NASA from an asteroid called 2020 SK1, but we've already had 5 that have passed us that are planet killers. But I checked it out, and it is 100 feet long.
That's something to look forward to. It's a planet killer, did you say?
Yeah, but the last 5 was, and it is heading our way. It basically passed us about a year and a half ago, 734 days ago, and it's passing back now.
It's funny though, because you know that they're doing the DART program at the minute, and how the DART program is designed to deflect asteroids. They're just doing a show-off flex of the system at the moment, and in a couple of days' time, the DART will actually arrive at this comet. Not the one you're talking about.
No.
But
it's too fast, this one.
It's like, well, if they knew this one was coming, why not point it at this one? If this one was going to had a bigger chance of hitting us,
because I think because basically I checked out the distance, and it's fucking miles. It's like 1677702.22 million miles away.
Well, it's nowhere near us, then, is
Yeah.
it? They always say it's close, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not quite. It's nowhere like near the moon or anything. Anything between us and the moon.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That's
dangerous,
dangerous,
that's a bit riskier. But I mean,
between satellites and Earth, that's even worse.
Yeah, I mean, with this start program, I feel like this is kind of a bit unnecessary, unless they know something we don't, and they're thinking that this
Usually
could
don't they?
pose a threat. Because I always think that if something didn't pose a threat, then leave it alone, because if it's, you could kind of use this DART technology to try and deflect this, break it into two pieces, and then suddenly one of them's coming towards us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it wasn't originally, but you fucked about, and now it is.
Yeah, well,
right.
this is
and
the worry.
Oh shit, you've messed it up for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
This is the worry of like how much power and who's going to be in charge at the time, and are they being sensible on the program, which, to be honest, they're a bit late on the program, but at least they're doing
this off
something.
A while ago, and I mean, it's like one of those where I feel like if it was for a reason where they say, well, this has potential to kind of impact us, then, and we need to do this, so therefore we can justify spending government money or taxpayer money on using this system to deflect a rock that just so we can say we can. When it's been kind of proven, like you were saying earlier on, there's been few instances where China or Japan or whoever have deflected a meteorite.
Yeah, that's right.
Even NASA have probably done it once or twice. So, and I understand this is a new system, but whether they can justify using all them resources just as a test, you
need to test it before you throw it out.
Understandable,
because
but
then
I'd rather
you can
find
build
something
more.
that was a bit more of a risk, because if there was something that was actually going to potentially hit us, then it's a good opportunity to test that.
True, but generally, to be honest, even with these systems that they've got up now, the last time we were properly in danger, it's 19 hours we had to deal with, from finding it to actually, right, what do we do about it? Can we get anything out there to stop it? You know what I mean? So they need to be prepared to have some kind of system out there that will wake up when, something kicks off, and have multiple ways of destroying them, because some are hard, some are like loosen, you know what I mean? You got to get the right idea for the right material to push it away, not to actually make anything worse, because if you hit one where it's got loads of boulders, then you're basically creating a claymore against, so it's going to hit more, even worse. It's guaranteed it's going to hit
the impact
land.
I get you. All right, well, there you go. Well, I feel like, if something like that was going to happen, that they would
I don't
be on
think
it.
we would.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they'd be on it, but we wouldn't find out until it's actually.
They tell us afterwards. Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, we saved your lives.
The amount of times that I've been annoyed that I've heard, like, the day after we were so close on being hit, and it was like, what's point telling me the day after? I need to know before.
Well, no, it's to kind of not ensue panic, isn't it, really? I feel like that's why they don't mention it, because if it was...
Yeah, but it's a run and hide thing, isn't it?
Well,
you know what I mean?
What's the point in running and hiding if it's a planet killer?
Well, it may not be a planet killer.
You may as well just not tell anyone and let everybody just kind of get on with it until it happens, and then once it happens, it's happened.
Well, yeah, true, but...
I don't feel
I would like
by
to know
making
beforehand.
an announcement saying, do you know what, in the next 24 hours, you're going to all get deep impacted, and I don't mean in the good way.
Yeah.
You're going to get
You're all
fucking doomed. Right? Yeah. And
say bye-bye to your ass.
What's the point? Everyone will be trying to flee cities. It'd be crazy, right? Yeah. So the best thing to do, yeah, exactly. So why bother? It's like, why bother creating all that panic and stress in your last moments? If it was 100% confirmed that it was going to happen and there was nothing we could do about it,
then
exactly. So why bother? Of let people just be happy for those last brief moments.
Yeah, but I'm a kind of person who.
But then again,
like
people will go, "Oh, well, people could be with the families and all that." Well,
it gives you the opportunity.
Well, that's when people start panicking. You know what people are like?
Yeah, I know
people
are like headless chickens.
People
when
buy
shit
buy toilet roll when they think like they're gonna
shit themselves.
There's a
curry crisis going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's one of them. It's one of them. I'd like to know beforehand so I can prepare myself.
Get his bug out bag and get his camos on.
Well,
his camping
stove. To go wear guns round myself.
Yeah, try and find himself a little bunker.
Sit on the beach. Yeah, I like the beach.
I kind of just always like the idea of like if that was going to happen, then you just get a deck chair and sit there and watch it happen. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I've always thought there's no point running. You know what I mean?
No point.
If you know it's going to come towards you and you think you may skin it by the skin of your bollocks, but you won't really.
I just wrap myself in tinfoil.
Yeah. Just get on it. Yeah.
Trying out nuke the blast. I'll do what? Thingy. I'll just get myself one of those old fridge freezers. Like what's his name? Indiana Jones had.
Yeah.
Just sit in that with a Miller.
But I do like to prepare in case I did survive anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of them that there's a possibility for life
survival.
To carry on,
if survival's an option, then you want to be prepared.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to know that you've got everything you need.
And plus, I think I'm helping as well.
I feel like if you're one of those type of preppers, that regardless if you're at home and you're suddenly in this crisis and you survive it, then you probably already got that stuff packed somewhere.
Yeah. Well, preppers are getting hit at the minute. They're trying to take the piss.
Stuff.
No, they're trying to take the piss out of preppers now, in like going, you're way overboard and shit like this, and it's like, hold on, it was only a couple of years ago where every single country was telling the people you should have this amount of food ready.
Sales of bunkers have actually gone up.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's definitely a rise in bunker sales with the elite.
Yeah,
because
that's where the money's going.
Why would they not? If I mean, personally, if I had that sort of wealth,
I'd
definitely have a bunker.
I would,
yeah.
No,
but it's one of them, and it's like if you've got a family and you want to protect them,
yeah,
and you down the road there's this estate of bunkers being let or sold, then you'd be like, well, it's interesting me, and the fact that the family needs to protect it.
Yeah. I
100%.
mean, there's actually loads of bunkers around here, and they were up for sale not that about 4 years ago. But yeah, if I had the money, I would have bought one of the bunkers up here.
I love the fact that a lot of them are old missile silos. So I mean, it's using reclaiming
it's all MOD
modernization and stuff, and you reutilizing the space, isn't it?
And
so
you can kit them out to be a nice place to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's loads of technologies now that you can use for that kind of stuff.
Well, I've seen this UFO sightings in Texas.
Yes, Texas.
A post went up on Facebook asking a video basically asking if anybody else had seen anything UFO related or like in the area. This happened on Monday in North Texas. The video got quite a few likes and comments. But basically, like the Texas police, Dallas police, Fort Worth Metroplex, we were seen over right about 40 minutes south of downtown Dallas. So as of Wednesday morning, the post had received about 100 reactions from about 45 comments, 55 shares. And in the comments section, other people said that they'd also seen lights overhead, including one person noting that they saw them in the east of Fort Worth. A number of people reacted with alien emojis, but basically, quite a lot of people said they saw something similar in the sky.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, the story broke on Fox News. And they published a report about the sighting, including video.
They say it was a weather balloon.
Well, basically, it stated that many viewers had sent the footage in. So
there's a lot more people
who've seen it. Could it have been aliens? Who knows? Whilst many people in the comments suggested that it was,
was there any
I'd like to see the
radar?
video. To be honest, the video was actually blocked on this website, but I might find the video.
We'll find it. Yeah, it'll be there.
I'll try and post it if we do.
Yes.
Other than that, I've got one more NASA news story. Have you?
Yeah, I got one more. I've got the UK is rejoining the space race.
Oh yeah, we are, aren't we? We're getting into it.
We are.
So when's our first launch?
In about a month's time, Virgin Orbiter.
Is it
will
Branston?
Launch. Yeah. It seems to be. Because SpaceX was involved, possibly, but they might be doing something else with us.
Well, that actually kind of ties in because,
but this is to launch satellites, which SpaceX was originally going to be doing it from here, but it looks like now it's going to be Virgin.
Well, we're going to have our own sort of version of the Starlink thing,
that's right.
Is going to be UK based, and I feel like the idea behind that, bringing fast internet to remote regions, is a good idea. But I feel like that now that they've decided that this is how the internet's going to operate worldwide, is it going to create a bit too much traffic in space, especially if we're wanting to, travel out there a bit more?
Totally.
Are we going to have to
negotiate? Hit a satellite or two?
Yeah, we're going to have to negotiate between all these satellites, but then also more debris that could fall to Earth every couple of years. Do you know what I mean? Is it going to be a lot of lawsuits because all these fucking satellites falling out of the sky and hitting cats and dogs and sheds and
they're going to have
rooftops and whatnot?
They're going to have they're going to have some kind of energy within inside them, which could be dangerous, which could have radiation in there when they land, like the Space Link, the SpaceX one. What was it? 56, 57 of them have already fell out of the sky. But, luckily it hasn't done any damage, but it only takes one to hit, the nuclear power plant in wherever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It only takes one to hit the wrong place and that's it. Fucking half over.
Yeah, well, that's it.
These are the dangerous things that we have to do to progress, I suppose.
Well, this is it though, and it's all about discovery and trying to find the answers to things. But sometimes this actually links quite nice, like in a segue. So sometimes people, we go out looking for stuff, but sometimes stuff actually just comes to us.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a story about a Japanese space probe that was basically it was sent to an asteroid. Which is about 186 million miles from Earth.
Nice.
And it basically found that there was droplets of water on the asteroid, right?
Ooh, yes.
So just speckles of water in the dust. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they reckon that it could hold the answers to origins of life on Earth. Yeah.
Panspermia.
Yeah. Panspermia is a good word you can use. The findings are the largest in the latest research from that's been published from the mission.
Yeah,
is basically available to read, but it's basically saying grams of stone and dust that contained water.
So then it could contain the chemicals of how life could be put. But then again, that questions against stuff like Mars.
Well,
he's
saying this drop of water has the greatest meaning. This is the lead scientist, who's a Japanese scientist. He told reporters before the publication that the research in the journal, which is now in the Journal of Science from Friday.
Right, sweet. So he's had it published then.
It's all published, and like I say, it's interesting to find out that, like, there is kind of like the elements for life just floating around space, but like in a sense that it's like it, and that kind of makes you think, well, there's
more chance.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that the amount of water that is actually on the planet now. Say if Earth was a barren wasteland and it was just one little rock that contained a bit of chemical water, that was able to transform this planet.
Yeah,
it is an interesting thing to kind of like, and it almost is like that sort of thing from Tiny Acorns.
Yeah, because the planet's growing as well and destroying and growing itself in different ways.
The planet's its own thing, you know what I mean? It's like we try and control things as humanity tries to control it, and we think that this. I mean, we have
not
an
ours,
impact.
we borrowed
Don't get
this.
me wrong, we do have an impact.
Yes,
but I mean,
definitely.
like we're trying to build on an organic thing, an organic entity.
You've got to think
and
of it as a creature.
We're building,
really.
living, and trying to mold it to our will when it can shift and move
It's not a dog.
in its own way. So you know,
it's not a dog, and
well,
it takes a long time to
you
train.
know, it's what like when you know they try and break that stallion or that horse. It's like it's a wild animal, but it's like we try and kind of tame it.
Yeah,
when,
try and
like,
control it.
When nature's not like that, when nature's just going to hit back and kind of hit you with a
Kick
storm
your ass
or
like
a
you've never been
hurricane
kicked.
or an earthquake or a volcano or any number of
New
things.
island.
Get a new island in.
Yeah.
Gaz Island.
Yeah, or even diseases. Right, we'll drop that motherfucker on you now.
I might just call it Never a Straight Island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got a ring around it. Bubble.
Yeah. Don't know what you mean by that. It's just
Neither do I.
Over my head. Anyway, right, well, that's the news.
It is indeed.
And that's the end of the show. It's been a long one. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week for another episode.
We will indeed.
And we're plunging towards 200th episodes.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Thank you for joining us and thank you for staying so long in the show. And
loyal
if you've got
fans.
this far, then well done you. We salute you.
We do.
Like I say, we'll be back next week. But if you want to get in touch and ask us a question or have a comment, query or suggestion, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com or go to the website at neverstraightanswer.co.uk where you can find all sorts of videos, blogs, news stories, merch, support page where you can go to Patreon and help us out there by joining up on Patreon or buy us a coffee. You can buy merch, cups, mugs, talking of coffee. Treat yourself, get a nice Never a Straight Answer mug. There's some really nice designs there, including some great merch designs from Ross Cookie.
Yes.
Who's a fantastic artist who's done us getting beamed up by a UFO.
Yeah, it looks pretty, man.
And there's a few other good items there as well.
Oh, by Joe, there is.
So, we're available on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, and even YouTube. So there's some extra stuff on there as well on YouTube.
There is,
and even if you say play Never a Straight Answer podcast on Alexa, it should do that as well.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
We will indeed.
So hopefully we'll see you then, and that'll be it. I'll catch you next time. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
And we've been the Never a Straight Answer podcast.
Yeah.
Peace.
Out.
Peace out.